Roxo Media House.
New year, new me.
What's
2023. New year, new me. The year of the rat. No.
Year of the rat.
That's what
It's a
Chris
movie.
Tucker said.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "What is that? The year of the rat?"
Anyway,
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get it started, man.
What's
Three
up,
Real
y'all?
Brothers podcast back again for a new year, 2023. Thank y'all for riding with us in 2022. We gonna keep
Absolutely.
driving if y'all gonna keep riding. I'm gonna start out by shouting out my Vegas baby Vodka. Thank you for supporting the show. Continue
Yep.
to support the show. We love you.
thank you to
We
Richard's
adore you.
Rainwater as well.
And Richard's Rainwater. Kyle, you got any? Okay, he's a double Richard's. So two Richard's Rainwater. Thank you very much, Richard, and your rainwater. Sorry. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we've been on holiday break.
Yep,
How you guys doing? How'd it go?
Oh
How
man, it was
Christmas,
good. It's
New
good.
Year's?
I went. I think I was the only one of us that. Well, no, did you go? No, you didn't go. I was down in Louisiana.
Oh no, I went to
That was
Phoenix.
great.
Yeah, we
Louisiana.
were all separated. Actually, it was
We was
different.
we was
it
actually
different.
separated.
The
this
first ever Christmas. Well, not
Holidays,
Christmas.
yeah.
Holidays.
It's been
Well, I
this
mean,
year.
I normally not because I normally go to Houston on Christmas, but
Yeah.
Right.
We
This is the first time we were all.
yeah, we were all
everybody was
separated.
somewhere
all
different.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
It's
Like-
different.
It's all good.
yeah, but I mean,
made
so
it
I got
work.
to enjoy it. So
Yeah.
school, you went to Louisiana,
Yep.
spend
yep.
time with Mama and
Yeah,
Papa,
yeah,
rest of the family.
Grandparents.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was cool. Yep.
What about you, Cal? Where'd you go?
Posted up here, did my seafood, boy. I made my matriciana pasta. Treated myself. I was like, yeah, but it was
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
treated
what's up.
myself to end the year. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go into the new year, new mind, and so spoil yourself a little bit, you know. And
Are y'all like New Year resolution?
yeah,
people?
that's exactly what I was gonna ask you.
Do y'all
I'm
wait?
over it.
What?
I'm
Wait,
over it.
over it? Like you're already done with your New Year, or you never just
No,
really,
like
you
I'm
don't get
over.
into
I'm over New Year's resolutions. Just because they're just like pointless. If you're a goal-oriented person anyway, New Year's resolutions are pointless. You know what I mean? It's like because I have a goal next month and a goal after that and a goal after that. And I just, you know what I mean?
So you don't need a day.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
you to-
day. I'm like, all right, I just know when I want to
for you
get
to
done
better
by this
yourself.
month. Yeah. I'm a goal-oriented person. I go from there. You
What
know?
about you, Kyle? You'll go.
No, yeah, I'm super. I'm real big into the New Year's resolution. So I keep it kind of short, but I have a board. I write on my list and stuff too. Everything that I want to accomplish
for the year. Or what?
Well, yeah, for the year. So I have first 6 months, and then for the back 6 months of that too. So I have what I want to accomplish in the first 6 months of the year, and then the second 6 months. So yeah,
If you don't do it, do you erase?
yeah. So if I no, if so yeah,
I'll do that later.
yeah, that'll carry over.
Yeah,
Yeah, roll
but-
over goals.
Right.
Yeah. So
Must
so
do a
actually,
washable marker.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I just put check marks when I do them. But what I started to do, which I realize a lot of people do New Year's resolution, is to a lot of people make a bunch of lists and stuff too. But halfway, I mean, the first 3 months of the year, most people forget about them and they don't do it. So what I started to do was I kind of shortened it. I have my list and then I find one word for the year that I want to apply to that. And it's one word to remind me of the days I'm tired, when I'm not really feeling it, and so for
What's
example,
the word this year?
so the word this year is determination. I am going to be determined to get everything I'm going to get done. I'm going to be determined to get up and work on my craft every day. I'm going to be determined to work on myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm going to be determined to do everything I say. Oh, excuse me. Kind of swallowed that. I'm going to be determined to do everything I say I'm going to do this year.
Got it.
And so now I just stick to one word. I don't have to remind myself. I just get up. And I even put the word determination on the first wall I wake up and see. So it's the first word that reminds me to start my day. And that's why this year I'm like, okay.
That's
I'm
why you don't
determined.
wake up till 12.
Exactly. I'm be like, hey, determination. Let's get up. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Nah, not
Nah.
today.
Right. And so yeah, and the year before that was commitment, and the year before that, 2021, was discipline. So the discipline, and then this year's determination.
That's not bad, man.
Yeah. So
Like
it keeps
good
it
little-
simple.
yeah,
bro.
that's a
it
good
keeps it
little
simple.
What about you? Are you a New Year's
Yeah, what about
resolution
you?
person?
I am, but it just doesn't start in the new year.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people who like, yo, this is my year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 2023, like 2022 is supposed to be my year, and then this is gonna be my year.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
But then like, so what I did was I don't want to do it the same time everybody else is doing it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
so what I said was my New Year's resolution starts like January 14th. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
that way the people that are get out the gym.
Yeah,
That's the
Get out your
worst.
way.
That's
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get out
I
your
gotta
way.
I gotta let those goal oriented, you know what I mean, early goal
Yeah,
oriented.
yeah.
I'm not gonna follow through for shit. People get them out the way, and
Yeah.
then here comes the real people who are serious
Right.
about.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I was like, yeah, I don't do the resolution as far as because you're right. Like I'm always chasing something, but as far as, hey, this year I need to get this accomplished, this accomplished, this accomplished. I always have goals like that for sure.
Gotcha.
So you don't write them on the board. See, I write mine. I got a vision. If I vision, it's just a little reminder. You just keep them.
So
stored in your head?
this is why, like, I think, because it's like, man, for like you're talking about your mindset changes as you grow. So my mindset right now on December 31st or January 1st is going to be different than my mind by June 20th because I'm going to have 6 months of life experiences and understand some things. And maybe because my goal at January 1st may be too small by the time I reach January or June 20th. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm over the New Year's. I'm like month at a time. You know, it helps you see.
You have a new month resolution.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I need to get this done this month, this whatever.
Oh, okay,
that's
you do a month by month. That's not bad. That's more staying in the present.
Yeah, because you know you want your goals to keep up where you are. You know what I mean?
Because you're gonna have bad days, but if you plan for the month, then
then you put that together and you realize, oh, I had a good year. You know what I mean?
If I have a good month every month, then I had a great year.
Month at a time, because it's like it gives yourself like, okay, dog, like you may start the weekend, you are going to weekend, like, man, I need to get this done. Okay, by the end of this week, I need to have this in, that in, do this, or whatever. You know what I mean? So that way it may take a week for what I just put in to develop. And then I don't see the fruit of that until 2 to 3 weeks later. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I'm just that's kind of how I operate.
You work month to month. What about you? You're 3 months, 6 months. You're 6 months.
Yeah, no, I do. I break it out. I'd like to do 3 6 months, and then I do 6 months. Yeah, and then the whole year from that too. Because you keep your goals where it's achievable. You know, you don't set unrealistic goals because that's just kind of fun. It's like, oh yeah, no, hey, I'm looking to be a trillionaire by then. It's like, okay, let's keep it a little bit more grounded and stuff like that.
Right.
But it still pushes me though. My goals still push me. It's still out my comfort zone. If it's in my comfort zone, then I get worried. I'm like, no.
Do you think people would say this? So say realistic, but what is realistic? You see what I'm saying? Is everything possible?
No, I feel like to a certain extent. I mean, I do because I am a very optimistic person and stuff too. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get to the moon in 3 months. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not really realistic. Now, if I'm like, hey, that's my end goal in my life, then that's more achievable. You get what I'm saying? So there's just ways to keep it in perspective. Now, I dream big, but just make sure because there's a difference between dreaming. It's a difference between, I think, dreams and goals. Dreams, you sit around romanticize and stuff too. You can sit there and like, oh yeah, everything is possible. But then when you set goals and stuff, that's actually achievable goals that you can make happen within these 3 months. It's just realistic.
But don't dismiss dreams though. You know what I mean? I'm big on dreams because
how you get here?
Yeah, it's like because of that. You know what I mean? How do I see something that I can obtain that I may have never seen physically? Like, how do I live outside of the box that I'm in? You know what I mean?
I guess that's such
by dream and imagination, it allows us. I mean, everything that we have, the fact that the people are listening to us or watching us through these cameras, somebody dreamed this idea. You know what I mean? Right. And they said, okay, wow. Or what somebody had the dream of one day looking up at the moon and be like, I wonder what it'd be like to put a man up there. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I was going to say with that.
That's I guess that's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to reach the moon in 3 months. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, I guess more of my mindset is that too. Okay.
Sound pessimistic.
Okay. Yeah. No. Because I'm actually really optimistic. I'm actually so vice
optimistic
versa.
is, bro, I can get to the moon in 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying though, in terms of the time that it would take for me to get to the moon, in terms of being an astronaut in 3 months, that's not real. People spend their lives trying to.
You gotta be an astronaut to get to the moon.
Well, I mean, in a way, you do.
Michael Strahan went to space. Jeff Bezos went to space.
No. There's a difference between being in space and then the moon. There's a difference. There's a difference. You can go to the atmosphere.
You saying you ain't gonna walk the moon?
I'm talking exactly. They're not gonna say, "Hey, Kyle, you know."
But see, I'm the other way. My thought process is I might be able to walk the moon.
Right, and that's not a bad thing to have. But then
I think you're pessimistic.
Yeah, but no, that's
and you confuse it for realism.
No, because if I hide from that, because if that's the case, then I wouldn't try to be an actor. If I'm thinking all the stuff that I'm planning on doing this year doesn't logically make sense. Being an actor and choosing to be an artist doesn't make sense. If you're looking at it from that person's eye, from a pessimistic point of view. But
I don't believe that either, because I talk to plenty of comedians and actors who are always like, we ain't gonna make it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the love of just doing comedy or whatever they do it for.
Right. Right.
And so, like, there's people in our field that don't believe anything
Right.
about themselves.
There's people in that field, but I'm talking about in terms of me. It wouldn't make sense. Now, for people in the field, I don't know. Everybody can be how they, but I figure if you choose this craft and stuff too, where it's to the point where I am paying people to watch me, like it doesn't logistic make sense from a financial standpoint. If I'm looking at it from that point of view, and this is kind of one thing I've learned too, is that it's crazy. I don't know. Sometimes, and this is something I kind of started doing, was I try to explain people my dreams and goals, and a lot of people don't understand it or get it.
That's a waste of time.
And exactly,
That is a waste of time.
and something.
But there's a reason behind that.
Exactly, because the reason is the vision is my vision. It's not your vision. It's not your goal. So a lot of people are like, man, that's what. That's I stopped sharing my goals and stuff and dreams. I kind of play everything close to the show.
I used to do that. You know what I mean? But I stopped a long time ago because that was like, what is the point? You know what I mean? Like,
because you don't have the same vision.
It almost goes along with that whole thing where people be like, they say something like, man, I want my family and friends to support me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's maybe a lot on the same line, but that's something I never really wanted to do. I never really set out to go, okay, when I'm doing a show or a stage or whatever, I'm be like, man, I want my family and friends there to support me. Because if my family and friends there, then I must not be very good. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not begging for my family and friends to be my audience. I'm begging to entertain that stranger way over there from Idaho that I've never met in my life. And he can look at me and go, wow, that guy's good. That guy's entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
But
like
to counter that, as somebody who's starting out, you won't have that person from Idaho.
No,
you
you won't.
But so that's what I'm saying. That's my mindset. So that's in my work every day. You know what I mean? That's what I'm pushing for. I'm not pushing to be good for my mom and my dad and my neighbors to come watch me and go, no,
he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's an actor.
That's a joke. Like that's the biggest false. That's the biggest false sense of security there is. You know what I mean?
Is what, your family?
Yeah. Well, not to say your family there, but like your family as your audience member. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I see it all the time. It's like, you know, people post all the time, man, if you ain't support me now, then don't ride with me later, all this other stuff, right? Which is really dumb. You know what I mean? Because if you don't support me now, okay, so what? I'm not good enough yet. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what? It may take a while for me to develop this craft. So when you support me later, to me, that's more gratifying to me to have people who didn't support me in the beginning who want to support me later. You get what I'm saying? Because that shows me how far I came and what I did. If everybody jumps on the boat from day one, then that's a joke. You know what I mean? Then you don't, they
not really supporting.
Yeah,
they supporting the person and not the entertainer.
Exactly. I don't need support for the person. I need support for the work. You know what I mean? Support for the person. So what? I need support for the work. I need to go, hey, Kenny's a good actor. Kenny's this or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what I need.
And that comes from, that validation comes from for my family. When my family's like, bro, you're doing great, is when outside the world gives you that validation.
Exactly.
So that way they can be like, oh, it's what I see. They see what I see. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
That's kind of what you're saying. That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a very good point. So speaking kind of on that, we all have things that we regret, right? Kyle, you don't have things that you regret.
Yeah, I view.
I'll let you get it.
We're good. Go ahead.
You don't have things you regret.
Yeah,
but there's things I regret, because I believe situations like that, things that we regret, grow us into the people we are today. Okay, they allow us to remember that feeling and to not want that feeling ever again. And that's what I think my regret comes from. So me, I one thing I always look back to, and I always think about this, is, bro, I could have been in the NFL, right? And who knows what happened? I'd hurt a knee, been there not been there long or whatever. But the fact that I could have got those couple checks, right? And then provided at least a foundation for me and my family as we grow, right? And I missed an opportunity to do that because I didn't take my opportunity serious, right? And that's been something that I've always thought about, or I've always harped back on in my head. I'm like, bro, that's why I work so hard in comedy and entertainment, because I said I will never in my life have any opportunity that I don't drain every single drop out of this opportunity. I've suffered for it. I've grown for it and become a better person and a stronger person and a person that is going to be successful because now I've learned what it takes to be successful and I had an opportunity to be successful and I didn't take it then. And it's grown me to who I am today. So I ask you guys, what is a situation that you regret that could have, you feel like, and it may have not, right? Like I said, I could have went to the NFL and got cut that day. But in my head, it was a situation that I could have taken and been a better person for.
Yeah, it wasn't about making the NFL. It really,
it's not about playing. It wasn't about playing football. It was about providing.
It was about putting 100% of you in it.
And that's where I regret more or less that I let an opportunity go because I had an opportunity to grab success and a foundation and maybe opportunities from my families that I don't have right now. Mm-hmm. But it's made me one of the hardest working comedians. It's made me learn how to get it out the mud. It's made me not be able to waste a day. It's made me be a better human being. Then it made me be a better entertainer. And so is there anything like that that's happened to y'all that you like, bro, thank God. And obviously I hated that it happened at the time, but thank God it happened.
It's to me, it's a collective of things because this is something about me is that I'm a person who always likes to do more. You know what I mean? And people who are complacent in life wear me out and I wear them out, right? Because I'm like, I can always do more. So it's not just one thing, it's a collection of things because if something doesn't work out, I always feel like I could have did more to make that work, no matter what I did. If I worked 23 and a half hours in that day to try to make that work, I killed myself because I didn't work that last 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? That's just my mentality. And I wear people out who are complacent. And people who are complacent who go, okay, well, I gave it a shot. I tried this. I did it for a couple of minutes, that. All right, what else you want me to do? They wear me out. So, with that said,
Why do they wear you out so much?
Because of the fact that I'm like, you could be doing more. And you're like, well, I tried. I did it. Or I did it once. Is that good enough? Like, what else you want me to do? I got to go to work next week. You're like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I'm the type, man, I'm like, because I've seen it. I've seen it when I was out in LA. You know what I mean? And that was my wake up call. When I first went out to LA, because I went out to LA just taking acting classes, right? I'll take acting classes once a week, and there it was. That's what I did. I'm successful. Yeah. I'm a working actor. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I get out to LA, and there's a guy who's taking acting classes. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right, meet him. We hanging out, right? And then I was like, what are you doing later? He's like, I got another acting class. I was like, you got another one? You do too? He's like, yeah, I got an acting class every day. I got a voice lesson class. I got a character building class. I got an audition class. I got a scene study class. I was like, you do all that? He's like, yeah. You don't? I was like, no. I was like, oh, this is what it takes. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is different. And he's a working actor. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's like, oh, this is different. And that was my wake up call. Like, no matter if I was doing a lot, I met somebody else who was doing more. Mm-hmm. And it was my realization that every time I'm thinking I'm doing enough, I'm really not. There's always somebody else doing more. And that maybe became, and the answer, I know I went long-winded, but to answer your question, where it came from is because when I always felt like I've always been the underdog in my life. Mm-hmm. I always never felt like I was the most talented. I never felt like I was the fastest, never felt like I was the strongest, never ever. I never felt like I was naturally good at anything. Everything that I have and did, I had to work at. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that mentality comes from being at a young, like, I guess, and I'm thinking about it, mine was in the 7th grade when I got cut from my middle school basketball team. I went and tried out in middle school in the 7th grade and got cut.
Green Acres
Middle School in Bossier
Seems
City,
like it still hurts.
Louisiana. Yes.
Coach
Do
Dixon.
you know how bad you gotta be to get cut in the 7th grade when you go try out for your basketball team?
Well, back
And
then,
you black.
As a black dude. As a black dude. Let's start with that. As a black dude.
What?
Do you know how bad you have to be? You know what I mean? And it wasn't so much that I was bad. I wasn't like I was somewhat athletic. I could play enough to be on a 7th grade team. Mm-hmm. Is that I was very I was very, I don't say shy, but could be timid in a way. You know what I'm saying? So I never reached my full potential. You know what I mean? And that moment made me push myself my entire life. Because at that moment I realized, oh, I'm the underdog. I just can't just come out here and just walk and just things happen. No, I gotta push. And if I'm not, I don't care what it is, and I got a timer, I got a clock ticking in my head too. You know what I mean? I gotta push. I gotta make something happen. And I guess that moment, being in 7th grade, getting cut, that was my wake up call. Going, oh, I'm not good enough.
Well, you see, you were fortunate to get yours a little earlier. See, I got mine later in life. Like
But
I was 22.
but see, even then, before I go, like you finish, even then, even now, you know, at 27, I still feel like I don't do enough. At 30, I still don't feel like I do enough. You know what I'm saying? Because every time something don't work out, I feel like, man, I didn't do enough. I didn't do
But
enough.
that's
I guess my question to that too is, okay, and when things work out, do you ever tell yourself, okay, yeah, that was enough? Do you ever have that? Because it seems like that state of mind is
Because even when things
work.
work out, I feel like I could have did it better. You know what I'm saying?
I was just about to say.
Yeah,
I was just about to say.
I was like, okay,
Success is a bottomless pit.
Right.
Success is not a level that you reach.
Right.
Success is continuous every day.
Right.
That's success. Success isn't, oh, thank God I've made this or I've done this. Now
that's
I'm
what
done.
what they say.
That's not
once
success.
once you hit one peak, there's 14 other you have to
Yeah,
climb.
it's a bottomless pit.
Right.
So
right.
I'm climbing this endless mountain. Like,
Right.
That's success.
Right.
Success is every day I've gotten higher on this mountain.
Right.
But at the end of the day, there's no top to this
Right.
mountain. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
You know, Matthew McConaughey talks
that's
about
what he
this.
did. That's
Yeah,
what he
Matthew
mentioned the mountain
McConaughey talked about reaching his mountain peak. He said when he reached his mountain peak, this top of this mountain, he thought it was a plateau. He's like, once you just get up here and bam, it's just flat all up here. And he was like, wrong. He's like, once you get up here,
you gotta work harder.
you get to this mountaintop, but when you look out, you see other mountaintops, right? You see all these other mountaintops
That are higher and nicer.
Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to get your behind off this mountain, go over there and start over and climb up that
all the way
mountain.
back up.
And then once you get up there, you realize there's more mountaintops over there, and you get your behind off that one. You go over here, you climb over that one. That's life. You know what I mean? That's life. You know, the amount of mountaintops you keep climbing, you have to hurdle over. That to me is your success story. Success to me is when you look back when it's all over with. And you, wow, this is what I did.
Laying in the bed in the hospital.
That's what if you're fortunate enough to be just laying in the bed and looking back in your life, and your life is at you're at your last days, and you go, okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And that's kind of what I was, and I want because I want to hear yours. That's kind of what I was talking to him about earlier. Is in life, and we have 2 older grandparents who are in hospitals. You know what I mean? And so we get to see it real, like up close in person. And to know at the end of the day, the only thing that you're going to have at that point in your life is your memories. You know what I mean? Because Mama and Papa can't walk, they can't run, they don't have nothing else to do today. The only thing they do is they're trapped in that mind that never grows old. Your mind doesn't get old, your body gets old. Your mind stays the same age. If you ask Mama and Papa on them, they go out and hoop. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, they can't even stand up on their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're trapped in your brain. And I'm sitting, and I asked him this, and I kind of told him this. I'm like, so at that point in your life, you're 80 or 90 years old laying in the bed, and you're trapped with just your memories. Will you be satisfied with these memories? Like, will this movie that you're watching every day be your favorite movie? If somebody came and wrote a book about your life right then and there, would it be something you're proud of? Would you read it? You know what I mean? Would you read your own story? Like, art. So, and if you say no, that's because you didn't get every ounce out of this life that you were supposed to, right? And that's what I think a lot of people struggle with is understanding, bro, you're not gonna live forever. We feel like we can't die. But ask DeMar Hamlin, who's at the top of his physical peakness. He's only been in the league 2 years. He don't even hurt. You know what I'm saying? And he got one hit, and it was taken all away. Now, who knows if he'll ever play football again? You don't know when that ball's gonna drop. Will you be proud of right then, whenever that ball drops? Will you be proud of that story that you're writing? And that's something that I think a lot of people don't go into every single day thinking about. Like, I think that it was something that woke me up because I was like, I didn't play football. I didn't make it to the league. I didn't do. I'm sitting here. I'm not doing it. Like it woke me up to a way where I was like, oh, okay, bet. That's it. But by the time you write my story's gonna win a fucking Oscar. You know what I mean? Like for best written story. For you know, it don't have to be great actors. The story's gonna be so good. And that's what I've tried to put into me, and not only into me, but into everybody around me. I don't let people be complacent around me.
Right.
Bro, you around me.
Stand it. Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to play for Gary Patterson, who is I arguably considered one of the top 10 college football coaches of all time, from a place called like Roselle, Kansas. All right. And I've seen him grow and then to grow TCU into the football empire that it is.
That's playing for national championship.
That's playing for a national championship next week. Hopefully, by the time y'all read this, we won it. Or hearing this, we won it. But I got to see success at the highest level every single day for 5 years. I know what it takes to become not just successful, but great, a Hall of Famer, the best at what you do as your craft goes. And I see the habits that he had. And I was blessed to be able to watch that every single day. So now I can come and do exactly what he did, as far as maybe not like what he do as far as college football, but as far as his work ethic, his knowledge, his planning, his ability to attack, his ability to build people around him. Like that has been implemented in my life. And I was fortunate enough to see that, in which I try to tell y'all every single day. How much do I harp on? Yo, did you get better today? You get worse today? Like, these are not lessons I created.
Right.
These are lessons I've seen. Right. And so I can recognize somebody on their way to greatness because I've seen what it looked like before. Yeah. And being able to see what it looks like before allows you to be like, oh, that's not right.
Right.
That's right. That's not right. If you talk to somebody who's rich, bro, like really rich, and you take them to a nice restaurant, bro, they can tell you, oh, that's not right. That's not right. You see what I'm saying? Because I've done it enough. I've been around it enough. And not everybody has that experience. I was blessed to have that experience. And I just try to implement it every day, bro. You have to drain all the opportunity you have out this life, bro. You have to drain every inch of it. And you can't leave any of it in that bag. Because if you leave it in that bag, you won't think about what you drained when you're laying in that bed at 90 years old, bro. You're going to think about that piece that you left in that fucking bag.
Right.
Okay. So, Cal, with that being said, what's yours?
I would say, well, for me, I guess in my life, there was nothing I was actually ever really naturally good at. Per se, everything I had to do, I had to work on. Everything was kind of pretty much a grind for me. The sports didn't matter, just everything. School, nothing really came somewhat. I didn't really find my purpose really more until college when acting came along. That's really why I do. I mean, I do this for the love of it. I don't do it because I need to be. Say I do it because this gives me a reason to wake up every day. I get excited about it. It doesn't feel like a job to me. And by having that passion to that, I got no problem working on it. That's what my drive is in that. But what I regret
is your passion in acting, or is your passion in acting because you found something that you were good at?
No, my passion is in that, because even in acting stuff, even though I'm good at it, I still work on it like I'm not good at it. Even if it's some things that naturally come and stuff too, I'm always working and perfecting the craft. But I do actually have one.
No,
after now I was talking about it. Oh, it
like talking to a woman, bro. Where is your accountability?
Yeah. Oh, it just Yeah, actually, it just hit me like a ton of bricks.
What you got?
The sensitive one.
Yeah, it just because now that I was talking. Yeah. Now that I was talking, I was like, oh, you know what?
What?
Having the fear of failure. Oh my goodness. That's probably that's my regret on that, because I think even with basketball and stuff too, I was always afraid to take the shot. I was always afraid to take certain chances and stuff too. Really? So that fear of failure was probably the one. I think sports would have been a little different because I always had the work ethic, but I just never took the shot. That's probably the only thing.
So you telling me there's a moment in a game where you had the ball and you was like, nah, I'm not shooting him. Pass over there to Adam.
It's not that. It's
no. It's
having the ability to shoot and not shooting.
Yeah, it's more of this. It's more of being afraid to take the shot, but you make that a habit. And so now you got this game. I'm spending all this time in the gym but I never even took
It's
the
almost
shot.
like you do a lot of acting classes, but you never do the movie. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
and I want,
And
and
that-
I'm
that
happy
was-
that you said that, bro.
that was probably the only thing that I would have
That's
I
real.
would have changed on that. I would have shot the ball more.
mind you, that
Actually, in the confidence.
I was just about to say.
It's
So
more so the confidence.
What you're saying is, and
More
this,
so-
and what I'm happy is, and we're all seeing it live, is you're having a realization
Yeah.
right now.
Right.
And then you're breaking it down even more. But see,
Right.
that's what I said. That's why regret is not necessarily a
Right,
bad
right.
thing.
I see what you're
because
saying,
you
yeah.
won't break down
Right.
what the problem is.
Right.
And if you never fix the problem, how you
Right.
gonna grow?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. And I wrote it on my board too. And okay, so this is actually I'll
Go
ahead
be
and have-
more
I-
gangster with
Yeah,
it.
I'll go ahead and have real talk with you.
That's what we want.
Okay. I had this audition. This was the biggest paid audition that I ever got. Yes, man. I think it was it was for like almost like this Old Spice commercial, but it wasn't really dealing. It was like their own thing that they were doing. Okay, so I got the email and it's like, oh hey, the pay is like
Great.
$12,000. I was like, oh okay, bet. So I was getting ready for the audition or whatever too, and then a couple days later and stuff because it was like they gave us like a week to do it. That hey, they bumped it up to 20 for one day of work. And I was like, and when it bumped up to that too, and you kind of felt the pressures that, you kind of felt the email like, hey, Kyle, we'd really like for you to come through on this too. And I think I got a call back on it too. And when she said it bumped it up, when they bumped it up to $20,000, I had a doubt in my mind. And the doubt was am I worth it?
Mm-hmm.
That was the one thing, and that was probably the one thing I regret on that
shooting
too.
that shot.
Yeah, and it was and I shot it, I did it, but what happened was the psychological part was I told myself, "Oh, am I worth this $20,000?" And I told myself, I was like, I don't know if you. And I had to write on my board. I was like, you know what, I'm worth $100,000 if somebody offers this, because as much time and time I put into it, the work I put into it. But that's kind of what threw me off. I had to know. A lot of times we don't even know our own worth, and that was kind of like the eye opener for the two. I was like, we don't know. We don't think we deserve certain things.
Yep.
That's really what everybody is.
Do everything with. I mean, that's not just
Everything
for
in life,
jobs. That's relationships and everything.
We don't think we
Like, I
deserve
don't deserve
this
this person.
We don't think we
mean?
deserve this break. We don't
Right,
deserve
right.
this money, so we question. But yeah, that was probably that's probably what I regret on that too, is just never underestimating my work.
That's
it.
that's beautiful to hear. That realization that
Right.
boom that
because it's something I actually kept with myself. I didn't tell
exactly,
nobody that this
and that's
is more
what
me.
because what we do is we suppress it
right,
so we cannot think about it.
right.
But
Oh
let
no,
it.
I think about I had mine on my board. I was like, I'm worth 100. Yeah, no, I put that where I can visually see it because to remind yourself.
That's
You're
good
like,
because
man.
you should always, when we do auditions, you always ask me, how much is this paying?
Right.
What I always tell you.
Yeah, you'd be like, shoot,
Don't matter.
It don't matter.
Don't matter.
It don't
I mean,
matter.
you can't be about money.
It don't matter. When I get a job, especially when I get a job and I know it comes from my agent, I already know it's
an opportunity.
It's
It's an
an
opportunity.
opportunity enough.
So
Like, how
I
much
just
they
need-
pay?
I just need
know
a
my
next door
agents
open.
can't tell. Yeah, I'm good. Because I treat the $5 job like I treat the $5,000 job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Same
saying?
here. Yep.
I treat it the same.
Right.
All right. I think that was a beautiful podcast.
Right.
What I want to do is I want to put a bow on it with piece of advice.
Oh yeah.
Piece of advice, everybody's favorite segment.
Right.
Before we get into that, thank you so much for following. Please like, subscribe, comment. Keep letting everybody know. Don't keep us a secret. Let the world know you love the Three Real Brothers podcast because we love doing it.
Yep.
Make sure y'all follow at Three Real Brothers Pod on TikTok. Everything else is at Three Real Brothers. Facebook, Instagram. I'm gonna work on the Twitter. We're gonna get a Twitter up. We're gonna be out there, and we're not gonna stop. And the things we have a lot planned for 2023 as part of our New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
That's what we
between
did.
you and Kyle.
No,
Yeah,
that's
me and
all
Kyle.
four of us. We're included. That's
Well,
all.
we got a lot of big
monthly
things coming up,
resolutions,
man.
yeah.
Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. The merchandise is gonna be dropping soon. I know y'all see all the different fits, the drip. All
Yeah.
right, so before we go, piece of advice. What you got?
Mine is know your worth. And that's almost even to me. Until you do deserve a raise, you do deserve a break in life, you do deserve what you're working towards, you do deserve that relationship, you do deserve that happiness, you do deserve that check. I just think know your worth.
Gotcha. Mine is a little bit what I hit on earlier is stop stop needing so much support from everybody.
Mm.
You don't need it. They're not there. You don't need it. You work hard. You be good enough to. You make people want to come out and support you. Stop begging for support. You make people want to support you. Work hard at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Be honest with yourself. Be realistic with yourself. Be very honest with yourself. Embrace your flaws. Embrace your losses. Embrace the things that people don't post on social media. Embrace it. It's okay. We all suffer. We all go through it. We all have doubts. We all want to be better. Just be the best that you can be and keep striving for that. All right. This has been another great episode of the Three Real Brothers podcast. I want to thank Roxo Studio for having us. I want to thank Richard Rainwater and Vegas Baby Vodka for supporting the show. Make sure you continue to support the show. Like, follow, and subscribe. Tell all your friends about us, and we'll see you again next week.
Shout out to Joel on the back.
Yeah.
Joel, Happy New Year!
Appreciate you. Joel works hard behind the camera
This
for
man-
us.
I want to
appreciate
thank all of our Roxo family and Joel especially for always being here in every episode and taking care of us and all the footage and everything else. Thank y'all so much, man. We will see y'all again on the next episode of the Three Real Brothers.
Felt like real podcast.
Three Real Brother
It was just a
podcast.
real on the emphasis part.
Yeah, real.